Yes. I think mostly his dad's voice is very similar to his teen voice. In fact, I was walking my daughter home from school. We were close to our school, so we walked, and she stopped in the middle of the street after she heard some construction workers yelling, and she goes, "Oh, I thought that was my dad when he's mad at me." Like him. He goes, "Mavie, Mavie!" And it's kind of a running joke in our family now. So the Oliver Queen, scary you have failed the city voice. I actually was just thinking it when you said it just now. It sounds like Mavie. It sounds like our daughter's in trouble.
See, by definition, when I get mad and I get angry, I sound like Oliver Queen. And sometimes it startles my daughter, and sometimes she thinks back to like an episode that she's seen and giggles. So I got that going for me. Which is nice. Yes.
My question was, what was your favorite crossover to ever do?
Elf this year. Yeah. When I first saw this, first of all, playing the Flash was super cool. Tell no one. And by the way, it takes, according to Grant, it takes about 3 weeks to break in a suit. I broke in the suit on the last day. God dang it. Oh, man. But I loved it, and I remember watching something called a network cut. So before you guys see the show, there's a cut that is, a cut being an edit of the show that's probably a couple minutes longer than what you see, and it's missing a bunch of stuff. It's missing the sound, the score. It's missing a lot of the effects, which actually kind of makes it funny to watch, because it'll say temp VFX, and it'll be stick figures like shooting around, stuff like that. It's missing the color correct. It's missing a bunch of stuff. So you have to really focus on the performances. And when I was watching it, when we go to Smallville, or when we go to get Kara from Earth 38, and it clicks over to the opening montage of Smallville, and it clicks over to the theme song, I thought for sure that was just a joke that they made in the temp. And I texted the producer, I go, that's so funny that you guys put the Smallville theme song in there. He goes, what do you mean? I go, well, it's for the temp, right? Because I've literally watched a network cut of Arrow where they, like, in the early days, where they would cut in Dark Knight score into the fight scene. Gotta put something in there. Nowadays, we have so much stuff from Blake Neely and his team that we can put our own stuff in there. But, he's like, no, it's the Smallville stuff. And I go, really? I was so excited. I mean, that whole crossover, and I think going into this year, the fact that we were able to do a crossover that was effectively the prologue to Crisis on Infinite Earths was really cool. Really cool, yeah. Hey, you. Someone repeat that to me. Does that keep my suit? Why? Do you want it? No. That they know of. If you think that I'm not walking out of there with a version of every single suit, just so that on my 40th birthday, on my 50th birthday, on my 60th birthday, on my 70th birthday, on my 80th birthday, that's probably good enough. So that I can try it on and make sure it fits. You're out of your mind. Thank you.
part that you never got to do as Oliver Queen that you as an actor would like to have been able to do?
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us about it?
I pitched an episode for season 8 that I thought, I've always wanted to do a departure episode, and by departure I mean departure from the typical theme. We did it a little bit this year with the 150th episode where we had the documentary, we had stuff directly to camera. I thought that was really well executed. Personally, maybe you think different, but I additionally thought that we could have gone like 100% further, right? So I pitched an idea for an episode this year that, man, I really hope that we really go for it, because one of the things that I think that we've earned, we've done 160 episodes, and we've got 10 more, and I feel like, according to Beth, we got very, very little feedback from the network this year in terms of notes, or the studio in terms of notes, and to me it's like, and then just give us one episode and let us do whatever that you know what we want. And I think it would be really fun. I think the fans would really appreciate it, which is ultimately what's most important. I think it would be really cool, which again, that's kind of what's most important. And I just hope that it comes out of nowhere and I'm going to wallop people over the head in a very gentle, subtle way. But that's the thing that I wanted to do. Just basic departures. I mean, I love network television. I'm here because of network television. But there are constructs to network television that are sometimes a little bit frustrating. You have 6 outs and 6 ins. You have to have your prologue, you have to have your credits, you have to end Act 1, you have to start Act 2, you have to end Act 2, you have to start Act 3, and end Act 3 and start Act 4, and end Act 4 and start Act 5, end Act 5 and start Act 6, and then end the show. And they're all on a timestamp. So that, the free-flowing, 7.5-page scene doesn't really exist. And I love the free-flowing 7.5-page scene. So I pitched that, and I really hope that at one point we do a serious one-shot. Like a 7.5-minute one-shot that everyone has to go out and rehearse like it's a play. And I think that would be, something like that. And a musical. I changed my mind. I didn't. Yes.
Instead of being Green Arrow, what other superheroes would you be?
Can I play a villain? Yeah. I don't know which one it is, but it's going to be bad. No, I don't know. I don't know. I get to play I got to do a little bit of that in Code 8, which is a lot of fun, but I don't know. I don't know. I've been so happy playing the Green Arrow because I think that playing a superhero that doesn't have superpowers is kind of empowering, if that makes sense. And I think I'd love to play a villain. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe make a new one. I think that'd be cool. If you could make a superhero, what superpower would you give him? To look through walls. So X-ray vision? I feel like that's an underutilized superpower, don't you? But would you use it for good, or would you use it for bad? Good? Yeah, we'll see. Thank you. Yes?
My question for you is, what's your favorite scene that you ever got to do with Emily?
My favorite scene that I ever got to do with Emily? You know when she got shot in the limo?
Yes. I cried for like weeks.
That scene. Well, let me tell you why. It's not a joke. I enjoyed doing that scene with Emily because it was 12 hours and it was just her and I on set, and it was a Friday into a Saturday morning, and we're either chilling in the limo, or I'm laughing at her, she gets blood applied to her, or I'm like, figuring out a way to like go through the partition to like slide into the front seat and drive away. It wasn't a fun scene, but it was a fun scene to shoot, and we got to hang out. So I mean, I can't actually think of another day where, actually no, I can, where just all day it was just her and me, right? One scene, one thing to get. We had to get the beginning of it, we had to get the happy parts, we had to get the sad parts, we had to get the she might be dead parts, and just all in all, it was just a really fun day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any acting tips?
Any acting tips? Are you an aspiring actor?
I act at my school.
You act at your school? What have you been in?
I've been in 2 plays so far.
Cool. What plays?
I was in one called Sophie Smith's Christmas Wish, and then one called Jealousy Jamie.
Cool. And are you playing like leading roles or supporting roles?
My last play, I did one of the leading roles, yeah.
Cool. Well, my first thing is that there's nothing wrong with supporting roles, because supporting roles teach you to do the most important thing that I think that you can do as an actor, which is listen. Right? That's the best thing that you can do, is listen. I once worked with someone, and I wasn't sure that they were paying attention. So I had this one line, and based on the way that I said it, it could have been a statement or a question. And I didn't know if the person was listening. So I had been saying it as a statement the entire time, and I just randomly on one take turned it into a question, and the person that I was working with didn't miss a beat and reacted to what I was saying. And then I said, oh, cool, this person's listening. And that made all the difference to me. I had confidence in them as a scene partner. So I know that when you're acting, especially when you're in a lead role, you work really hard on your lines, and you work really hard on your performance. But it can't be set in stone, or granite, as the case may be. You need to be able to be nimble on your feet. And if you listen, and if you ask questions, and if you are able to do something that requires a little bit of vanity, but not take yourself too seriously, then I think you'll have good fortune. Thank you. Hi.
Hello. A lot of questions about Arrow have been asked, but I'd like to ask you a question about knocking point lines.
Sure.
Which is your favorite red and which is your favorite white?
My favorite red and my favorite white? It's difficult to not have my favorite be the Amwell back. And man, my favorite white? Well, I like the blend that my daughter does every year. Our daughter does every year. Just because I just love her art direction on the labels, and also it's a really good wine.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. By the way, I have no idea how long I'm supposed to go. I'm just going to keep going until Welling and Rosenbaum come up here. It'll be fine.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, who's your best friend on the set?
My best friend on the set?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Probably Emily. Welcome. That's how it goes. Yes. Oh, that's last. Okay, we'll do one more just because I didn't know that was the last question. Let's make sure that we get one more good question and then I'll wrap it up. Okay. What's up, man?
What's up?
Better be good.
Well, on that note, Ryan Reynolds took the suits, his Deadpool suit home, so you can sneak it home too.
Oh, 100%. No. I have a room set up that's under construction that's going to showcase all
So you played a number of vigilante characters. You do it pretty well. Not to like typecast you or anything, but do you see yourself like trying out for any Marvel no power vigilante characters like Moon Knight or something like that in the future?
I don't know, man. I do know that I think that there's a negative connotation surrounding being typecast. what you want as an actor, and what this young gentleman that I just spoke to will tell you, is that the big thing that you can do as an actor is get work in the first place. So how do you get typecast? You get typecast because you get work, and you do something to the point that there's a distinction to it, and that distinction makes people identify you with that type of character. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. That's one of the reasons that it's time for me to move on, is because I want to get my hat back in the ring. And if that's a new character, if that's a Marvel character, if that's a DC character, if that's whatever, we will see. We will see.
Yeah.
Hey, Orlando, thank you. I love you guys.